Hey, how's it going? It's your partner, Uncle Noble. I'm here to give you a little tour of my instruments. I've been playing music for about 20 years. I picked up guitar when I was about 18 as far as learning music individually. And I just started teaching myself. I took some lessons here and there, took some classes at music school in college, and you know, so I've taken little gaps in between, but I made a commitment like maybe 6 years ago to just kind of stick with music, find a way to make an income off music and make a living so that I could just become as good a musician as I wanted to be. So right now, I'd say I'm on my journey to becoming a better musician, and I'm okay. You know, I would say my musical knowledge is good because I'm a teacher, but my technical skills are not amazing. They're okay. So that's something that I'm really focusing on within the next 3 years of building up my technical abilities. And as I make YouTube videos, hopefully the growth of my playing will kind of be documented through the videos I make. So for now, it's kind of instrument reviews and just kind of talking about instruments that I own and why I chose to get them. So that's what this video is about. If you want a more in-depth review of any of the things that I've shown, please get in the comment section or let me know. Or if you have any thing that you want to share about instruments that you think are really cool, please get in the comment section. So without further ado, we're going to talk just about the instruments that I own. Being a music teacher now, I own a lot of instruments, so way more than I would show in this video because there's stuff in different places and storage and stuff like that that I would use for my classes. So kind of like if I were to show all the instruments I had, it would probably be a boring video. But if, again, you have an interest in education or teaching and the learning tools that I use, I'm more than happy to make a video about that. So just let me know. Anyway, so let's start. This is my J Turser. Now, I am a big fan of secondhand guitars. I'm a big fan of used guitars because usually if you find good owners, they'll take care of them and they'll give you a good deal. They're not going to try to scrape you over the coals. Now, I love this. Why do I love this one? Because this reminds me of a guitar I used to have, an Epiphone Sheraton. And I put Gibson 57s in that Sheraton. It was a nice guitar. I got it nicely set up. I get all my guitars set up. It was a really nice guitar. The reason I ended up selling it because I made a movement away from big instruments, big gear. So now I like little amps. I like little guitars. And this was just, I found this on Craigslist. Somebody was like, oh, this is a 339, which is a smaller, the style of the 335, the 339 style guitar. And it's just, you know, I got it for 140 bucks. I think, no, I lie, 160 bucks. But my goodness, this is a very, very, it's a beautiful guitar. It's a fun guitar to play. I think I got an amazing deal on this because this is a rare guitar. It's a J Turser. I think it's a JT133, I believe is the model number. And I looked at these online. I cannot find another one for sale anywhere, so I feel like I lucked out. Just someone who lived like within 15 miles of me had one of these, and I really enjoy the headstock. I think it's very cool. I had a 339 Epiphone, but I actually prefer this one. This one is just cool, and there's just something about it. I'm a sucker for sunburst guitars, so that's kind of one of them. All right, let's move on a little bit. So that J Turser 133. JT133. Okay, the Mikro bass. Again, as you can see, sucker for sunburst. I honestly, like, all of my guitars would be either natural or sunburst because there's something about that. My Mikro bass. I just wanted something that was like a guitar-sized bass. Something about short scale basses that are really intriguing to me, and I really wanted one. So I scoped it out for a while, and I found, you know, because I hound the Guitar Center at times, I found one on a good deal, and so I was able to find this. So this is the Mikro bass. It's a it's a P and J, so it has like a jazz bass and P bass pickups in it. Very nice. Again, I get them all set up, so there. So we have that one. Is the Mikro bass. Very nice. Very fun to play. I feel like, I don't know, I did something to it where I chipped the bottom here. That made me a little bit sad. And the pots are a little bit stiff, so I might need to look at that. Whatever. But anyway, otherwise, really fun to play. Love this guitar. Let's keep it pushing. Now, I just made a video on this one. I had to restring this. My Alhambra classical with a matte finish Alhambra guitar made in Spain, the OP. Like I said, I took some lessons in college. So I took classical guitar for about a year. And so I do really love classical music, and that was kind of my intro to music, was classical music, because I went to boarding school. And so, you know, it was like a churchy boarding school, so they played a lot of classical music there, and I just like music. So I definitely love classical guitar. I love the repertoire of the classical guitar. The thing is, it is a demanding instrument if you want to play really nice fingerstyle in some of the pieces that were, you know, from the Taraga pieces or Fernando Sor and things like that, Leo Brau, some of the more advanced pieces like Recuerdos. You have to put in the technical work. So this is something I use when I feel like I want to go back to reading music and I'm really putting an effort into sight reading and my reading. So this is a classical guitar that I'll always have one of these around, just because I look at this as a studious instrument, and you know, maybe at some point I'll be able to really hone in on my reading and improve that. So this Alhambra, really nice guitar. I got it for a nice deal. There's a local shop down the street, Rosewood Guitars. I don't love the owner. That might be a story for another day. I don't know if he's the owner, but this one guy. But a lot of their employees are really great, and their teachers are great. And I got a really beautiful deal, really great demo from the players there, and that was really nice. So let's keep it pushing. Now, you need a classical nylon string guitar, but I feel you also need a steel string. So right here is the Breedlove Pursuit. Again, the theme for me is I like little guitars. So this is a concert-sized steel string. So it's smaller than a Dreadnaught. So the resonance isn't quite the same. Isn't quite the same as a Dreadnaught, but it's very comfortable to play, very comfortable to record with. It has pickups, so I can line in and record, or I can record with the microphone. Has a built-in tuner, so that's definitely makes it convenient. You just got to remember to recharge the batteries in there. Otherwise, you can be playing at a show and lose the power of your pickups. All right, so what do we got here? All right, my P bass tattoo. This is my stickery bass, where fittingly this bass is made out of basswood or basswood. I don't know, basswood, however you call it. Get in the comment section. You tell me the pronunciation. So yeah, P bass, pretty much P bass copy. Put all the stickers. Here's my band, my crappy band, right there. And sticker. But yeah, this is I really enjoy this bass because it's very light, very lightweight, and this is and I just love what I definitely do, as well as Sunburst. I love all white instruments. I love white Fenders, white Stratocasters, like the Wayne's World Stratocaster. I love that guitar, so I really dig white. So any white Stratocasters, yes please, I'll take it. Any white kind of P basses or any Fender style guitars, love them. Anything that has like hollow bodies or thin lines, I tend to like as a wood grain. But anything that's like solid body, I don't mind having goofier colors on it. So this one, definitely fun recorder, very cheap guitar, right? Bass, I got this thing for like 80 to 100 bucks on Amazon, and then because the pickups were not installed well, I got them to take off like another 40 bucks. So I got this really cheap. The setup on this guitar costs more than the setup on this bass costs more than the bass itself. So, but you know, if you're looking at those instruments online, this you know, haven't it's been very affordable and very lovely. Now let's look at one of my babies. Now these are all my babies, but so here we have the Epiphone Casino, and again, smaller guitars. So I got the Coupe, or the Coupe, however you pronounce it. Again, have a fight in the comment section about how to pronounce the name of guitars. But I love this guitar, super lightweight. There's no block on the inside, so it's very light. And it's not a high gain guitar because it can feedback pretty crazy. I got some, this is a local pickup maker, Wolf Tone pickups. He put these, well, I got my tech to put them in, but I got these special, he makes a Epiphone Casino pickup special because they have some weird differences in the bridge to neck pickup in the covers and the size dimensions. So you just, when you're changing, this is one of the harder guitars to find pickups for. Not that it's hard to find, but you have to put a little bit of effort into finding something that'll work for you. They're great pickups. I love this instrument. It's a beautiful instrument, so much fun to play. Got it set up, and since the setup, it's just been really nice and super light. And so, yeah. This is usually like a hollow body. I'm gonna love the natural finish of this one more, or sunburst, but my partner convinced me to get this blue one. I think it looks pretty cool, and you know, the floating tailpiece here and everything is something I really was interested in. It just gives it a little different variety, resonates a little bit differently than the other ones, and so really love this guitar. So that's another hollow body that I love. Let's keep it pushing. All right, Partscaster. OMG, love this. I was trying to make a '69 copy, and there was a guitar store down the street. I live in Seattle, but it used to be this iconic kind of guitar shop because it was painted like Freddie Van Halen's guitar. But since the pandemic happened, that shop eventually closed down after many years. And so I used to go get my guitars tech there, and I used to hang out there, check out the new instruments, demo instruments, and they sold me this neck. They said one of their customers, you know, sold me the, had passed away, and they had guitar parts that they were just selling. So this neck is a part of that story. So again, if anyone wants to hear a little bit more about this one, I love this guitar because I put it together myself, along with my friend who's a tech. He helped me finish it off, just do the setup on it and everything, and make sure things got routed nicely. But my Tele 69 Partscaster. So again, you want to hear about this one? I feel like I can make a video about that. This is a recent addition to the collection. You know, so many cheap, affordable guitars online nowadays. It's like, I used to read about like how people used to order guitars off Sears and Roebuck catalogs, and I feel like Amazon is like that modern day Sears and Roebuck, where you can get these catalog guitars, like, you know, almost like how I would call them in a way. I mean, it's an online catalog, but it's like almost, you know, and you order them and they just, boom, you get a guitar. It's like, these guitars, I feel like when the kids are getting older, these will be sought after. These cheap guitars that we're now are like poo-pooing and stuff, but you never know, one of these guitars will be like, whoa, did you get one of those Donners back in the 2020s, man? Or one of those Groats or whatever. So I really think so. Like, a lot of the guitars that go for a lot now were not highly thought of back in the day. A lot of Dan Electros and stuff that, like, you know, you're gonna pay a lot for were cheap guitars. You know what I mean? So I think there are some good ones, and this is I just did a review on this. You can watch that and learn a little bit more. So that's the Strat copy. Love it. I think it's really great. Got another. Okay, so we got a Dreadnaught here, Yamaha. This is my partner, one of my partner's guitars that I keep in here. This is, I think they got this is a Costco guitar. it's actually a really, really nice guitar, honestly. It's I really I would lower the action just a tiny bit and like actually get this set up nicely, and this would be actually sounds really good because I showed you the Breedlove Pursuit concert size. This just resonates if you're recording with microphones and you got this set up. This would be, I'd feel like, is a fuller sound, a slightly fuller sound if you were recording through mics. But because I use modelers and preamps and stuff like that, you can kind of manipulate the acoustic sound to sound a little bit bigger. So something with a pickup is preferable nowadays to me because I can still get a decent sound off the recordings. But if you're someone who's into traditional, like getting it off the microphone, or just campfire stuff, or you just want to bust out, you've got a friend coming over and you're playing guitar, bam, Yamaha. That one's a very nice one. And then I think this is the last of the guitars. This is another one that I have done a review on, the SX Furrian. I really love this guitar. I've for the last maybe year, this was like my main guitar in terms of the main guitar I'd use at the house. And you know, if I was practicing, I've even played gigs with this because again, I get everything set up. So even though they're cheap guitars or affordable guitars, if you get them well set up and you have a good amp, it really doesn't matter. you can play nice. So I have modded this quite a bit though. Yeah, I have, and so I would definitely take a second to make a video about all the things that I've changed on this. I bought this guitar initially for $150 shipped, and then but with all the things I've done to it, I've easily I haven't put in. It's not one of those things where you like a side that you put in as much as I did because you know, everything that I put in this guitar, I will strip out at the end. You know what I mean? Like, all the components I always keep, so I don't really care. If you put components in a cheap guitar, because I started to realize that you can sell gutted guitars for almost as much as you can sell, in some cases more than you can sell guitars with pickups in them, because for people like me, I would pay the same amount almost for this guitar empty as for with parts, so I can just do what I want with it. You know what I mean? If you just gave me the neck and the body gutted and you told me put your own electronics and stuff in, kept the bridge on, you know, so that's pretty much why I don't really care. If it's cheap but I like playing it, I'll put stuff on it. So this, I recently changed the pickup, so I've had it for a couple years now, so I feel like, you know, if you played it for long enough, then it's justified. So, but this one, really a sleeper guitar that I got for a really good price, but ended up really enjoying it. And again, I've done a review on this one, but I can do a review on the modifications I've done to make this really an awesome guitar. So that's it. That's my guitars. I have 2 basses. You saw 3 acoustic guitars, 2 hollow bodies, or actually 2 hollow bodies and a thin line, so 3, and then 2 solid body guitars, this and the Strat. So I feel like I'm in a guitar heaven right now. I have all the axes that I love, and what it is like, you know, you can get to a point where you have too many instruments, and I feel I'm kind of on the edge of that because I have a lot, you know. But what happens is if you have a lot of nice instruments, you always want to play. Like, you always see something you want to play, like, ooh, that's cool, ooh, that's cool, that's cool. So what ends up happening for me, at least, is that I try to get the amount of instruments that I know will inspire me to play as much as possible. And every instrument that I look at is something that I took the time to buy, I really wanted, and I enjoy it for that reason. So every time I look at the guitar, it's really hard for me to look at it and not want to play it. It's really hard for me to look at any of my instruments and not be like, oh, let me fiddle around for a second. And so, you know, so that's what I would say about having a bunch of guitars. Like, when you see, there is a certain level of anxiety that I get from having a lot of material possessions, I guess it would be, because as a musician, you're supposed to be creative, and you know, having less instruments can force you to just use the gear that you have and enjoy that and use it to the best of its ability. But I do also feel with my collection, I try to get it so that I'm not copying the same guitar. So the classical guitar is very different from the steel string guitar, which is very different from the electric guitar. And all of the electric guitars have different pickup configuration, so I try not to get something that would have the same pickup configuration, just because with the price of guitars, I can get 3 guitars for the price I used to get 1 for, and they're all decent, but then you're getting to a point where it's just too much. So you kind of have to control yourself. And even though it's fun to shop on Amazon, you got to be like, all right, you know what, chill out. So again, like, get in the comments section if you kind of find that paradox of like, it's amazing having cheap guitars, but maybe you make like grown-up money and like you're buying more gear than you should be. So that's something I definitely have to sometimes really consider, is just like having all of these guitars is not, it's not a flex or anything like that, because really the flex is in your playing. Like, if you're really playing nice, and that is really all that matters, and you know, and if different guitars make you want to practice more and play more, then that's great. If it's just to have them, then that's a whole different thing. That's not, you know, there's nothing wrong with collecting instruments, but I'm kind of one of those people who, like, I wouldn't like to see my instruments collecting dust, so I try as best I can to play them all. You know what I mean? I think having multiple instruments allows you to rotate them out, and also make sure the maintenance of them is you're maintaining them well. So anyway, like I said, if you enjoyed listening to me ramble about instruments, get in the comments section, tell me which one of the instruments you thought was cool, or any affordable instruments that you think are pretty cool that have been slept on or people aren't talking about as much, or you would like to get a more in-depth look at. So yeah, just let me know. All right, thanks for listening, partners.